see above normal rainfall. NIIT, and it's been a decent set of numbers. We will just be connecting with the management in a bit. We heard them out as well, speaking on the numbers gone by. Just to walk you through, they have put out a good set of numbers. Let's get in. Mr. Rahul Patwardhan, CEO. Mr. Patwardhan, walk us through what led to this stellar growth of PAT at 17 crores versus a loss of 109.
Yeah, thank you. The year has been a good one. We had laid out a plan at the beginning of the year for bringing the SNC business back to growth and back to profit, and we've delivered on that. And our corporate business, as we had indicated, we'd have a steady growth of 15% and EBITDA of 12%, and we've done a little better on that on revenue and a few basis points higher than that on the profit too. So essentially, we delivered to our plans, and that's enabled us to make this substantial turnaround on profitability. But I also want to emphasize that on the top line also, we've had steady accelerating growth. We had a year-on-year growth of 4% in Q1, 5% in Q2, 6% in Q3, and now 7% in Q4. So as you can see, the company now is set on a clear positive growth trajectory. And if we exclude the businesses that we've actually exited last year in FY15 and do an apple-to-apple comparison, we've actually grown 11% year-on-year on our go-forward revenue. So I'm very pleased with the results of last year, and we now have, of course, a very well-defined agenda for continuing this acceleration trajectory going forward.
Right. Mr. Patwardhan, just to analyze the numbers in greater detail, your corporate learning group accounts for over half of your revenues. What kind of momentum are you penciling in here?
Yeah, as we've been saying, right, since the last 15 months, this business, we continue to see an ability to generate a 15% top line growth rate or better and an EBITDA of 12%. So we continue to hold to that kind of trajectory for the next couple of years. This excludes, of course, if we do any inorganic activity, which may add on to that.
What is your order book and deal pipeline currently, and can you walk us through the key B2B deals which are in the works?
Can't name customers, but we had 4 new customers that were added in this quarter. One of them we were able to publicize, which is Oshkosh Industries. This is a manufacturing company in the US, which does a lot of very high-end engineering equipment for many different sectors. That's a comprehensive deal supporting them on their training outsourcing worldwide. And we have 3 other customers. One is a bank, one is in the technology space, and the 4th one I don't remember offhand. But these are all important customers reflecting the kind of profile that we are targeted on. The 4th customer is actually a government authority focused on financial services in Europe. Our order book grew 28% vis-a-vis last year. Our order intake for the year grew 28% vis-a-vis last year. So that is in excess of our revenue growth rate, which is also a very good sign.
Fair point. Traction has been seen in your managed training services and the client and deal wins as well. What is the kind of contribution that you're building in from important contracts like the one from Citibank in particular?
We won't be able to give specific numbers around specific contracts, but all I would say is that since those contracts started only in the middle of this year, in the initial couple of quarters you have mainly transition activity going on, so the real revenues start kicking in by Q3, Q4 onwards, and then based on the track record, obviously there's a potential to grow these revenues much larger, given that the global spend of Citibank on training is very, very substantial.
Right. So, give me a sense, if you can't really spell out individual numbers, what is the kind of guidance that you're setting out for the full year when it comes to your top and bottom line both?
Yeah, so for the CLG business, as I mentioned a little while ago, we are looking at achieving at least 15% growth on the top line and a 12% EBITDA.
Okay, thank you so much for joining in, and all the very best, Mr. Patwardhan, for the coming quarters. That's a view on NIIT. But let's connect with Sanjay Dongre, Fund Manager, UTI Asset Company. Appreciate you waiting.